welcome to Full-Time Movie Fans. We're definitely you're up close and personal with Jarvis and Mike the guy,
Grill
the man,
Master.
the one, the only.
Today. Grill Master today.
Grill Master, yeah. So obviously we're doing something a little bit different, getting up close and personal, not with just each other, but with y'all. Hopefully, talking about movies, friendship, and we're talking about. So I think did we? So our last episode, guys, we didn't really get to. The video didn't work out. So you may just get audio.
And now we're here.
Yes. And so we actually the whole space had bad juju, so we blew it up and now we're in a new space forever. No, I'm just kidding. But
we spent $15,000 to ensure that will never happen again.
Yes, because we care and love you guys so much. And this is so important to us. No, but so the video, there's no video for that. But that's okay. I don't know if we talked about it last time, but the Oscars happened.
They did.
And I don't know. Do you remember if we talked about? We may have touched on it.
We touched on the before, but not the during or after. You know.
So if you guys watch the Oscars, you don't. Maybe you've seen on social media somewhere, a little ad somewhere, maybe on Reddit or whatever. The Oscars happened, and one of our favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, it's
Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean,
it
won so many stuff, and I think that I did talk to somebody, and I think there was some. I think they felt like Angela Bassett should have won.
Oh well.
Yeah.
What's it like to feel?
Supporting actress. And look, I get. I do think that like for that it was kind of more. She won. What's her name? I can't believe, dude. I always do this. Like whenever the cameras are on, I blank.
Don't worry, I got you. We're coming back.
Deirdre.
Everything. Oh, you're talking about?
Yeah.
You're talking about
name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. So she won, and a lot of people said
she should have
went to Angela Bassett. And I kind of agree. Like I think acting, Angela Bassett may have done a little bit better job, but. For it's a matter. It's kind of a legacy award. Like she's done so much for movies,
yeah,
and stuff like that. That like with this performance as well, it doesn't make any It makes sense to me. I was like, of course, like she would win. So I got no problems with it. I got no issues with it. I'm glad that Everything Everywhere All at Once kind of swept. It was much deserved. One of the best movies I've ever seen ever. It's so unique, especially with how many movies there's been up to this point. I mean, how many movies have been made? How many like Oscars have there been? Like it's crazy that new ideas are still out there, and that's something that this did. But
it won. It says it won 7 awards. Hold on, it won 7 Oscars. I remember Sybil was watching because I couldn't, and I was just refreshing my phone on Twitter to make sure that I had the updates as they were coming in. And she told me, Brendan Fraser won Best Actor. And in my head, I was like, well, that's one that Everything Everywhere didn't win. But, hey, it was worth it. And she said, no, they weren't even nominated. Remember? And I went, oh, best case scenario then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, he got a
he won, which was the highest they could have gotten.
Yeah, I mean, everybody cried because that man he's too precious.
Very sweet.
Too precious. And of course, Michelle Yeoh.
Mom, I won an Oscar.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Don't make me cry on this. But so this is very different. Although we are talking about an Academy Award winning movie today.
We are. We were supposed to watch The Room, and then I willfully forgot that the only way to watch it is to purchase the DVD, which I have and he does not.
Yeah.
So instead, we watched the next best thing, which is The Disaster Artist.
Yeah, well, tell us about. Give us a rundown on the actual movie itself, because I know there's some aspects and some scenes we could see, but what is The Room for those who don't? Because here's the thing: this is a movie that is not going to be on. If you're just a casual moviegoer, you've never heard about this movie.
No,
you will never know. Like this is not a movie you're going to come across.
It's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. We definitely recommend that you see it because it's one of those what do you call it? It's a cult classic.
Cult classic.
Cult classic. You will not regret it.
It comes to specialty movie theaters like every couple of months, and they do funky little events, and Tommy Wiseau loves to go to them. And
oh man, what a guy!
I will meet the guy one day, and that will be the only time that I ever give him actual praise for anything, because outside of this piece of a movie, he is not a good person. But
oh,
like most of Hollywood, outside of their daily lives,
Yeah.
outside of the movies, their daily lives are bad. But yes, The Room, a movie that I have seen probably enough times so you don't have to. I think I'm in the 20s right now.
wow.
Yeah, I've watched it a lot. It's so
20 more times than I've seen it.
yeah, correct. So all of the knowledge for that movie will come from me.
Speaking of the number 20, that's kind of Leonardo DiCaprio's sweet spot for relationships.
Yeah, between 20 and 23.
Yeah, it's his sweet spot.
After that, you
So if as many times as you've seen this movie were years on a woman's age, you'd be riding DiCaprio's
I would not
sweet
actually.
spot.
I'm in the upper 20s.
I think his limit's 25. I think it's well documented. 25 is his cutoff. But anyways,
So The Room, 2001, 2002. It's one of those 2 years. Was a movie created by the one and only Tommy Wiseau. The Disaster Artist goes really well into the making of, so I won't do that because that's what I know the most about. But the movie itself is a self-titled black comedy about betrayal and distrust.
wait a minute. What's a black comedy? Because I'm thinking like
It is
Medea,
not what you're
I'm
thinking.
thinking about the Nutty Professor.
I think the correct term that Tommy was looking for was dark comedy.
Oh, okay.
Because black comedy is a very different thing.
I'm a big fan of black comedy.
I think he went, what's darker than dark?
Okay.
Black comedy. And because it's very akin to like a melodramatic soap opera. You know, one of those like, no, my wife, she's cheating on me, I'm gonna murder the man. You know, one of those kind of things.
We've all been there.
Tommy Wiseau wrote, directed, and produced the movie. I would say all on his own, but he somehow roped a bunch of people into it. The whole idea.
I know how.
Well, yeah, that's true. You watched The Disaster Artist, so it's very apparent that he wanted a real Hollywood movie, and that's what he aimed to make, without any of the knowledge of how to do that. So he wrote this piece, and I'll tell you some funny things as we get further into it, because
I love funny
that
things.
is not the first draft of that script that they actually made the movie into. There's actually the first draft I found online one day. And there's a little like one-off joke when he's writing, and I hope you remember it, where he was like, maybe Johnny's a vampire. We'll find out. He was a vampire. And
it's amazing.
And there's a scene in The Room that, where everybody's on the rooftop and they're like, give me the fucking money, Denny. Give me the fucking money. And then Johnny's supposed to show up in his flying Cadillac. And that's where it's revealed he's a vampire.
I want to see that version. I want the director's cut.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Bring us the Wiseau cut of that, please.
Anyways, Tommy
What
Wiseau.
do you think?
Tommy Wiseau, he plays Johnny, an all-American guy, a banker, who is engaged to the love of his life, Lisa. And as their wedding date approaches, Lisa decides to be dishonest and disloyal, and sleep with his best friend Mark and manipulate him. And
Come on, Lisa.
it's a beautiful story, and beautiful in all the worst ways.
It's human emotions.
The best way to describe it is that if you could have, I can't even say like ChatGPT at this point, because ChatGPT would have made a better story. It's like if you had given an alien a very vague idea of how human emotion works and like how betrayal works, and they were like, I'm going to make the best betrayal movie ever. This woman cheats on her husband, on her fiance. That's it. That's the whole movie. And it's a lot of people say, and this happens a lot with lower tier art. No, I wouldn't say lower tier art. The correct way to make art is from what you know, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people say
I think that's what happened.
I do too.
Yeah.
I believe that this is a self-serving story that Tommy wrote about parts of his life, even though he will always deny it, and has and always will. You don't even know where the man's from. He says New Orleans.
Him lying about all those things and not revealing those things it's like taxes.
Yeah,
it's as real as taxes every year. So
so it is absolutely worth the watch. It's absolutely worth the watch, and lower your expectations, in my opinion. And this is where my like weird, what's the word? Pretentious art man facade like goes away a little bit. It's good to enjoy something that's so bad it's entertaining sometimes, because it's really fun to look at what works and what doesn't, and then try to figure out how you can like pick apart. I've loved the idea of rewriting The Room into an actual Oscar award-winning script.
You know what? I think that's amazing. You know what I think? Here, let me add to that. Here's what I think. I think when it comes to like good and bad on a movie scale is like you may have where's the camera? So you may have something like, oh, here, you do it. Okay. So it's like a spectrum, right? So good to bad. But like I think that there's times where as you're moving towards bad, you can pass it and come back to good. And I think
it's like a circle.
There's some movies that do that, and I think this is one of those that, like, even in The Disaster Artist, when I watched it towards the end, everybody's laughing. Then you realize, like, okay, what's his goal, right? Maybe it's to be a good actor. Maybe it's to be in a movie, or maybe he just wanted people to. He wanted attention from people in the same way movie actors. If that was his goal, he got it. I think that the goal was started to realize that, like, hey, he kind of got what he wanted, not the way he wanted. So he kind of pivoted and was like, okay, well then I guess I'll take it. It's because he mentions, I've seen interviews in preparation for this podcast, him doing interviews saying like it was supposed to be a drama. But he kind of said, okay, well, it's kind of a comedic drama because you can have both. And I think he meant it to be very, very serious.
Dead serious.
Supposed to be dead serious. Dead serious. But he pivoted when he realized, okay, well, people just find it funny. So then we'll just call it a comedic dramedy. Or
a black comedy.
Yeah. A drama, a comedic drama.
Yes. Yeah. Which brings us to The Disaster Artist, the thing that we're actually talking about today, which is... So, as I said, I know more about the making of this movie than I do the actual movie itself, even though I've seen the movie so many times. And The Disaster Artist, actually, like Tommy Wiseau says himself, it's like 99.999% correct.
Yes.
Accurate to how it is. That's not actually true. There are a lot of things that they embellished on for fun. But
let's start with like who's the one who made this movie? Who's the director and producer of this?
So this is actually the movie script is an adaptation of the book The Disaster Artist, which was made by Greg Sestero. It was written by Greg Sestero, the guy who plays Johnny's best friend in the movie Mark. His real name is Greg Sestero. He's the one that oh God, I can't ever remember their names. The Disaster Artist, Dave Franco. Dave Franco played Greg, and it was adapted from that book, talking about the whole like how the movie got made, and James Franco, because who else would it have been besides James Franco and Seth Rogen?
Yes,
would have been like, I'm going to make a movie about the making of this movie.
Yeah, so if you know anything about Seth Rogen's movies, then you can kind of understand where this is coming from. I think because Seth Rogen, I think he's great. I do too. I think his movies are good.
And he played Sandy very well in this movie.
Yes.
Sandy
because I think that's just him being himself, which is the easiest thing you can do, I think, in acting. I think he's there's no. Oh yeah, no. He didn't really have to. He didn't have to stretch his range for this role.
Yeah, Sandy. There was the cast is also studded with a bunch of different stars like Josh Hutcherson being Denny.
Here's the thing, there's a lot of comedic actors, and even I know some of those people that you just see in like funny commercials on TV. Yeah. Like there's a lot of those people who either have such small roles in comedic TV shows or they're just in commercials, and they always play that straight line, funny type person. Yeah. But what's crazy about it is they're doing a serious role, which again, just like real life, is funny, but not intentionally. And they have all these comedic actors playing these parts.
I'm looking at all of it right now. Yeah, Tommy Wiseau was also in the movie. He was at the very end. He did not play himself. He played Henry. But we got like Hannibal Buress, Peter Gilroy, one of my personal favorites, Nathan Fielder from Nathan For You. You're pointing at one.
Jason.
Oh yeah, Jason Mantzoukas.
I think I remember him from Parks and Rec. He was the cologne guy.
Yes.
Very funny. So he's a comedic actor.
We even have Alison Brie.
Yes.
Zac Efron, which was one of my personal favorites, playing Chris R. Which actually, I don't think they touched on this enough in the movie. The character's name in The Room is Chris R. Not Chris, last name R, Chris -R. Like it's a nickname.
Yeah, and that's his... Tommy Wiseau wrote that's his character's name.
That is his
and
character's
that's how
name.
It needs to be said. That's how he needs to be addressed.
Yes.
Put some respect.
Same with Denny. Denny is not Danny. It's Denny specifically, like the restaurant.
Yeah.
Which is so wild. Okay, so I'll give a quick summary of The Disaster Artist because this is one that I feel very comfortable in. The Disaster Artist is a movie about Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero wanting to become famous actors in Hollywood. They both move to Hollywood and take acting classes, and they're trying to get into the industry so that they can become rich and famous, the American dream, all that good garbage. After being told that they're both awful at it, Tommy goes, we'll just make our own movie. And Greg's like, yeah, we'll make our own movie. You know, like everybody says they're going to do. And Tommy goes, no, I'm actually going to do it.
Wait, didn't you make your own movie?
I did. I did make my own movie.
Maybe we'll review that one day.
Maybe we shouldn't. We don't need a second Disaster Artist. You know what I'm saying? Except there were a lot less crimes committed on my set.
Well, there's only one way for the public to know. They have to see it for themselves.
That's true. I have so many behind the scenes of that movie and so many great stories. But anyways, so Tommy goes, I'm going to make my own movie. And Greg is like, haha, yeah, that's a great idea. Tommy has money out the fucking wazoo. Nobody knows where it came from, what he's doing with it. It actually came from selling leather jackets off market. Designer leather jackets. He made millions off of it. That's another thing he'll never admit to, but it was found out. It's great.
Our independent private eyes found out this information.
Yeah. You can verify this information. Actually, it's verifiable. Most of it came from Greg Sestero's own mouth. But you see in the movie, like his character's like, "Where the fuck did you get all this money? You're not telling me things. You're not from New Orleans. Where the fuck are you from? Are we actually friends?"
Yeah.
It's a pretty good moment. It's a very real one, too, because it's like this man in real life is a man of mystery. Nobody knows where he's from. He's not from New Orleans. There's no way. He's not the same age as Greg. He's like twice, if not more. Anyways, they go and they start to make this movie, and Tommy's going to direct, write, and produce, and be the star in the movie. And speaking from experience, that's a mistake. So he... Without any knowledge of how to do any of this, he just walks into a store that's like, "Hi, I'd like to rent camera equipment." They're like, "Oh, do you want digital or film?" And he goes, "I want both." He's like, "Oh, okay, sure." And they go along and they actually cast people. They actually like get a spot to film in. A set is made. It's a really dumb set. It's really funny, and they point it out in the movie too, where they have them make this like brick rooftop with a green screen behind it. And they were like, "You know that we could have just gone to one of the rooftops, right?" And Tommy turns around and he goes, "But it's a real Hollywood movie. That's why we need set. It's a real Hollywood movie." And like, you made an alleyway set. Why didn't we just film in the alleyway? Tommy just gets so upset every time someone gives him like an actual realistic thing. And all of these people who are making the disaster artist understand, because they're in the industry, that how funny it is that he's just wasting money doing whatever, when everybody and their mom knows that if they wanted to shoot in an alleyway, they'd just go shoot in an alleyway or shoot on a rooftop. They wouldn't CG everything, especially if half of it's shot on film. And the whole making of this movie devolves and causes a lot of problems, and Greg gets an opportunity to be in an actual TV show, and Tommy messes that up, and it's this beautiful story of friendship and betrayal and comedy that rivals only the actual movie itself, and eventually turns into this wonderful story of a terrible movie being made.
Yeah, so basically The Disaster Artist is a story about a guy who made a bad movie, and this movie is about that. And it turns out it's a great movie.
Oh my God.
It's a great movie
so
about a guy who creates a bad movie. It's so bad that it's good.
Yes.
So that it's kind of an Inception type thing in the sense of like, it's a story about a guy who wants to make a movie that's so bad that it's good. And the movie that this actual movie that's about this guy and his bad movie is actually a really great movie.
Oh yeah, I love it to death.
So didn't it win? It won some awards, didn't it too?
It's won a few awards.
Yeah, which is crazy. Because I remember when this got big. At least in my friend group,
it did not win an
several years
Oscar.
ago.
It was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Okay, so he was nominated. And this was how many years ago?
2018.
2018. So it was so was that 5 years ago?
Yeah.
So it was about 5 years ago. I remember this. A lot of people in my friend group. I didn't actually watch the movie itself, but I did just watch The Disaster Artist, and yeah, I agree. Dude, James Franco did a fantastic job. I mean, these days James Franco is kind of a dirty word. It's never okay to groom
Anybody.
Yeah, especially ones that are a lot younger than you.
Yeah.
And by a lot younger, I mean like below the legal age limit, I think. So
I think.
I didn't read I didn't look up like how old this girl was and all the allegations. I meant to. I didn't, so I'm not gonna say for sure, but I know that it was just some bad stuff surrounding him, and I know Seth Rogen's kind of separated himself from him for that reason. He just had some issues with women, especially younger women. At the very least, I think Leo keeps it legal. As far as I know, it's just a little weird because he keeps getting older.
18 to 25.
Yeah, so we want it known to all the internet. Throw a like on here if you agree.
Yeah, like this video if you're against groomers.
Pedophilia is not okay. That's disgusting.
Dislike it and put a comment if you are for them, though.
Yeah, if you do,
just so we can know.
Yeah, so we know who are. No, it's never. That is not. On a serious note, that's not okay. And I know that there's been a lot of that kind of stuff, Hollywood grooming, young child actors and actresses. There's been a lot of sexual abuse towards that, so that's not okay.
More so the reason why I really liked this year's Oscars, because it was a lot of allegedly good people winning things.
Yeah, dude, Brendan Fraser. I mean, come on, man. Like, and he was a victim of sexual assault. Yeah. While he was an actor
in Hollywood.
Yeah. And thank goodness that Key doesn't have that kind of story.
Yeah,
Key
I'm very
Kwan,
happy
but
about that for his sake.
Yeah, but I mean, just lovely people being recognized at the Oscars. And I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, Hollywood has had some bad press recently with this type of stuff. Harvey Weinstein was what's his name from House of Cards?
You talking about Kevin Spacey?
Kevin Spacey. Ugh. Man, that guy is. We won't get too much into that, but
great actor.
Well, not so great when he's acting like he's not guilty. Horrible actor. When trying to convince people that he's not guilty.
That is also true.
That was a pretty disgusting display, but yeah, I mean, Tommy Wiseau, he just seems like a guy that would be a made up character. Like he does not seem like a real person at all.
What do you mean? The man with like 17 belts and a dark jacket with greasy hair that if he looked at you from across the room, he'd be like, "Is you okay? Am I gonna die? What's happening right now?"
You know, okay, so being Asian American, my mother's from Korea. Like I get that there's cultural things. He admitted he's from Europe.
He is the cultural thing.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of things that get lost in cultural translation. But you know what? He's quite an interesting guy. I think his ideas of, when you listen to him talk about movies, he's very serious and he does care very much about the craft. I think that the things that he cares about are the things that he thinks are normal, just don't translate well in America to American people or audiences.
Yeah, whatever.
He is no Quentin Tarantino when it comes to script writing at all. He might be the antithesis to Quentin Tarantino when it comes to writing dialogue.
It is.
Because come on, you know it. You got to do the famous line. It's the most famous line from the movie. They did it like a
there's
million
like
times.
17 of them, but
No.
you're tearing me apart, Lisa.
No, not that one. Where when he comes out, I did not hit her.
Oh, I did not hit her. I did not do it. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah, I mean,
That one's the good
how
one.
do you?
There's another one. One of my favorites is
Genius
everyone
style.
betray me. I am fed up with the world. Almost exactly like that.
Yeah.
What's another one? You can keep your stupid comments in your pocket is another good one. I like that. It's such a quotable movie.
Yeah,
It's so quotable.
Yeah, and I mean that's how this guy literally thinks, and it's absolutely hilarious. But as far as The Room, like I said, I've not seen it. I've only seen clips of it. But The Disaster Artist, like at the end of the movie, they actually show clips side by side
And how
from the movie.
frame accurate they are about it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
They just near perfected like scene for scene, like parts of the movie, the ones that they show in The Disaster Artist.
Oh, I just remembered another great one. I just got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
Stick that in
They
your
never talk about it
stick that in
again.
your Quentin Tarantino movie. I dare you. Quentin, I dare you to write better
They
lines
never
than this.
talk about it again.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. To be honest with you, bro, can I just be real honest with you?
Yes.
And this is gonna get some hate. So
Okay.
I get it, guys. You're not gonna like what I'm gonna say next, but I feel like having not seen The Room and only seeing The Disaster Artist, that I would like watching The Room much more than I liked watching The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, you would 100%. There's a difference between good, bad, and bad, good. You know.
I don't know. I feel like The Rise of Skywalker is just bad, and it doesn't cross over that threshold into good again.
There's
It just
there's
stays
some
on that
fun of the Rise of Skywalker if you like turn your brain off and just watch the pretty colors happening on your screen, like a toddler watching shapes move around. You know. Would you say that a kid learning numbers from a YouTube video is better than the Rise of Skywalker?
It's hard for me to think of things worse than The Rise of Skywalker. For me, when it comes to something that I loved so much as a franchise, so I will say this: if you've never seen The Rise of Skywalker and you've never seen The Room,
Watch The Room.
by the time I saw, yes, watch The Room instead.
Yes. They made another movie that Greg Sestero wrote. It's a 2-part movie called The Best Friends, but the R is in parentheses, which means that it's best friends or best fiends. I only watched part 1 in theaters. I never got to see part 2, but my God, is that a ride too? But it is nowhere near The Room. It is nowhere near The Room because they're doing it on purpose this time.
Oh, they recognized it and they leaned into it.
Yeah.
When they should have been just blissfully unaware.
It was basically Greg wrote a movie for Tommy, using Tommy's clout to get people to go to the theater.
Uh-oh.
That's what it was. Because Greg has been in a bunch of other things. Greg Sestero is
well, according to The Disaster Artist, he was always almost in an episode of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, he was almost. And what a world we would have been in if he had made his break there, you know. But Another sad part of the truth to what is the disaster artist is that because of the fame that Greg got from The Room, he never really progressed in his career. He just went, "Oh, I'm already famous, so I must be good," like Tommy did.
Well, I mean, from what I saw, Greg's a good-looking dude. I feel like
he is
very attractive. I mean, more attractive than
he is. Here's you ready? Truly. You ready for the weird, hard to believe thing? They're still best friends.
I believe that.
And that's why Greg is so weird. And I don't know. I really do have high hopes for him.
So here's the thing about these guys, right? Even if their whole story is they're accidentally famous, which is what they wanted in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like it's like they're
a weird success story.
Their friendship is kind of dude, how do you explain it? It's just kind of like
it was two steps away from being. It was 2 steps away from them both being famous from a Dateline TV episode.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole thing, like literally in real life, if you think about it, it just feels like it does feel like a movie.
Yeah,
like a crazy, just like I don't know, dude. It feels like it. You know, one of those independent studios
coming of age story
movies. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
that'd be like James Dean.
Oh my god, it just feels so like. I don't know how to say it. I just don't have the words for it. It feels their real life story just feels like a crazy made up movie. And it's it's successfully failing. That's what it is. They successfully failed into success.
Yes.
They failed successfully.
Yes.
They got the goal all the wrong ways. You do it that way a million times and it doesn't work out. And like the fraction of a percent of the time it does work, they manage to that just happens to be their life.
Yep. I think that the Disaster Artist movie did a really good job of making it clear that even though Tommy is a terrible man and Tommy is very manipulative and self-serving, that Greg is also like culpable in the whole situation with him going, "Hey Tommy, I'm going to be on this like brief episode of Malcolm in the Middle. I need to have my beard for literally one more day." And Tommy goes, "No, you're shooting this scene tomorrow. You have to have a baby face because it's an important integral part of the plot." And he does it. Yeah. I would have told him to fuck off.
Dude, same. I would have been like, "Sorry, bro." It's like
Bryan Cranston.
It's like when you're working at a job, right? And you've requested off a couple of days for a very important thing, like, and you requested off like months in advance, and then the day comes and they're like, "Sorry, we need you for work." I'd be like, "Sorry,
I bought my plane tickets."
Yeah, figure it like I'm already doing the thing. Like
I got my suit.
Yeah, that's what I would have been like in that situation. But like, sorry, dude. Like, I just won't be there. Like,
not happening.
And you're gonna scrap the whole movie? I guess you can do that.
Yeah,
or you can just wait a day and I'll do my thing, and then I'll see you the day after.
Literally shoot any other scene.
Oh yeah, I definitely would have just went with Bryan Cranston.
I had those moments. Speaking from experience,
could you imagine the universe where he did the Malcolm in the Middle episode, made an impression on Bryan Cranston, and like later made it into like Breaking Bad or something?
Yeah,
could you imagine?
He could have been Jesse.
Bro, that's a crazy alternate universe out there somewhere.
Can you want to know what's actually really, really weird? Bryan Cranston had that actual experience in person, and then he had to redo it for the movie.
Yeah. Dude, such a crazy...
Like a little like brush off moment that he had, right, with somebody like 15, 20 years ago almost.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, you got to come back in and do it for the scene."
It just feels like a fever dream, bro. Weird. Like that it all happened at this time. Seth Rogen got a hold of it and decided to make a movie at it. And I mean, I think James Franco, like I said, I think he did a fantastic job of portraying Tommy Wiseau. So,
yes, I agree. It was
very, very good.
He also got his accent just enough to a point where like Tommy is hard to listen to. it's really hard because he like the way that he says things. Sometimes you don't know what he's saying, but for some reason, James Franco went, "I'm gonna make sure that I have the accent and people understand me," and it worked. He did great. Oh, the point like 1% that Tommy said the movie wasn't accurate was he said that that the way that James threw the football in that one scene was incorrect because Tommy throws footballs better than that. That was the 1%.
Yeah,
the 0.1%.
So yeah, go. I mean, here's the thing: if you can go see the room, see the room. If you can't, watch The Disaster Artist.
Do both, please.
And then
do both. It is, in my opinion, a very integral part of like cinema history for you to go and watch both of those.
Yeah, and then you'll know what we're talking about with the football thing.
And if you're more pretentious than I, if you are as pretentious as I am, then if you like the genre of seeing how terribly a movie gets made, there's another movie called The Burden of Dreams. It is actually not a mockumentary or anything. It is an actual documentary of Werner Herzog making this terrible movie in, I believe it's either South America or the African jungle, and just to fill you in on that one, it's another great watch, and you absolutely should go and see it. Don't watch the movie that they're making in that because it's not good. But in the span of making this movie, Werner Herzog starts a tribe war, kills a bunch of innocent, impoverished people. Gets in trouble with the government, gets in trouble with the local government, and still has the audacity to get in front of a camera and be like, "It's bullshit. It's all of this. All of this is bullshit. They don't understand my vision of the movie." And people love Werner Herzog more than they love Tommy Wiseau. Burden of Dreams, very good, very very awful. But it's one of those ones where you're like, there's no way this could get worse. And then he's like, yeah, we had to hire another tribe because one of the tribes that I hired started a war with another tribe because they wanted to be in the movie instead. And now hundreds are being killed as we speak.
Wow. How not to make a movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, all in all, The Disaster Artist could have been worse.
It's true. I don't think anybody died because of his movie, so... I think that's got to count for something. Yet. I mean, except for dying of laughter, maybe.
Yeah. There is a scene in the room, and I think they mentioned it, like another little one-off joke, where there's a sex scene like 15 minutes into the room, and then like 20 minutes later, they have another sex scene, but it's the exact same like scene, shot for shot. They did not do it. You see in The Disaster Artist, they shot that scene multiple times, right? But they use the exact same cut.
So they
for the second sex scene.
So they Michael Bay'd that.
Yes, they did.
They Michael Bay'd that. Michael Bay is known for reusing shots from other of his movies. Yep. Especially in Transformers, just recycling old shots and using them over and over again. So that was good. That is actually funny.
It's very funny. That's Michael Bay is also famous for having the women on set who have to be naked longer. just because. Well,
I mean, I think okay. I mean, even that, I think sexualizing girls that are supposed to be young girls, like portray these young girls. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think
I'm saying Hollywood's real sketchy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, dude, ladies, be careful out there in Hollywood. All right, and guys are sexualized and victims too. So
don't be disillusioned to the fact that there are powerful people in Hollywood, but everybody, including the people who feel like they're far above you, are exactly the same and exactly at the same amount of power you are. You have the power to tell them no. You actually have more than the power to tell them no. You can do anything that you want, and if they make you uncomfortable or try to blackmail you into doing anything that doesn't make you comfortable, guess what? There's these thing called laws and morals, and if they break any of yours, you can leave, and you should feel very confident in doing so. Because if you are being pressured into something that you don't want to do, guess what? You shouldn't be there. You should not be there. It doesn't matter if it's going to make you $1 bajillion or $2. You know, don't be there. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
they're not worth it. Not Werner Herzog, Harvey Weinstein, once revered multi-millionaire Hollywood executive, right? Where is he now?
rotting in prison in his own like grossness, from what I hear.
Yep. So
he's a very gross person.
Case in point: do things ethically, treat people ethically, and don't make movies with Tommy Wiseau or Michael Bay or Warren Herzog.
Yeah,
the list gets longer, so we should. I digress.
Yeah, there's a lot of good and bad stuff with everything, but you don't have to take the bad.
That is a good thing to know about this movie too. Is that movies that talk about making other movies is a really good way to see inside of like the wrongdoings of Hollywood sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of movies that do that, like The Burden of James or The Disaster Artist,
which you should see.
Both of them.
Yes.
Support ethical filmmaking. Watch We Don't Have an Ending. That movie was made ethically.
Okay.
That's
I know we're I mean, here's the thing. When it comes to movies, I feel like we're going to be doing this for a long time. There's so many movies to talk about and to get into. There's so many great movies out there. Great things to talk about. Like I said, when we talked about Everything Everywhere All at Once, I mean, I just thinking about our last episode where we did Puss in Boots. There's so many like deep lessons you can learn, life lessons just from watching a kid's show like that, kids movie. And I think even more so, there's like, I think we mentioned when we did our Everything Everywhere All at Once episode that we could literally talk about that movie for a full year.
Probably,
we could break it down scene by scene. We could break down like emotion by emotion, and there's just so many different things that we could talk about. We talk about the movie forever, and so we hope to be doing this for a long time. I think the verdict is the verdict of this one is that. It's The Disaster Artist itself is a great movie. Mm-hmm. The Room is a cult classic. I think it's just something that everybody should watch just so that you know what it is. And you'll have lots of great movie references and quotes to tell with your friends.
I see what's going on here. You're wrapping up. Guess what, fucker? I know that you haven't told us your opinions on this movie yet.
No,
I've talked for 40 minutes.
Well, here's the thing. I really liked The Disaster Artist. I mean, like I said, I really love Seth Rogen's movies. I think James Franco did a phenomenal job.
Dave Franco was kind of weird. I'm going to be honest.
Dave Franco always is a little bit. I think just trying to. I mean, without James Franco, there's no Dave Franco, and you know what I mean. I think that last I heard, I mean, congrats to Dave Franco. I think he was or still is in a relationship with Alison Brie.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm assuming because of this movie where they met. Congratulations, Dave. Alison Brie, you're amazing.
Something good came out of the room.
You're incredible. Love you and all your work. I still need to watch through Community. That I know is a classic, so I need to get through that. I've seen some of the episodes, haven't made time to go through all through it. So Alison Brie, if you ever see this, you're amazing. Dave Franco, you're a lucky man. James Franco, man, I hope you're doing better. But yeah, dude, that stuff's not okay. And Seth Rogen, man, keep doing your thing. Disaster Artist, which you guys created, I think is phenomenal. It's excellent portrayal. I think of Tommy Wiseau at his own admission. Like this is he would say that they did a great job. I think that he just will continue for as long as he lives, eat that up and ride the high of the fame of his movie that was an accidental success through failure.
He still does.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you, if you go on his Twitter every single day, it's the only thing he talks about is The Room.
Yeah, so he still loves it.
It's a little
you can love it too in your own way. I think I still need to. I'll probably just borrow it from you, I guess, and finally watch it.
Yeah, but the DVD copy on the inside has an insert for his underwear brand.
There you have it. If you want to be connected to underwear. Tommy Wiseau physically, you can buy his underwear
and emotionally. You learn a little bit more
the
about
fruit of his
night.
loins, so to speak. This movie, and so, but yeah, as far as The Disaster Artist, I loved it. I had a great time watching it. I think just
very funny.
I think like understanding Tommy Wiseau through this movie, I think is why to me it feels like, dude, this is a movie character. He is a fake person. Like, and then when you see him in real life, and then you even see some of the interviews, and you're like, oh wow, this guy is actually in real life. He is not. He's a real person, and that's even crazier.
I think they're doing a tour of the room right now around the United States again.
Oh wow.
So if they come to San Antonio,
hey, come to San Antonio.
I'm gonna take you.
We'd love to hang out with you.
Not only am I going, I will take a picture of you like I'm your dad in front of Tommy Wiseau. I'm like, go stand next to him. Go.
Yeah, if you wanna come to San Antonio and hang out with us, reach out to us. I think we're gonna have to put together a social media once we launch that.
Yeah,
we'll let you guys know. Tommy, reach out to us. We'll buy you a beer or something.
Tommy, I might have said some mean things about you. I am genuinely curious to sit down and talk to you. Not like other people would, where they'd sit down and be like, so why are you an asshole? I actually want to sit down and like pick your brain about a couple of things, because you're just so unique.
the way you think about movies and the way you think about scenes and acting, it is very unique. So
I don't know if I agree with it,
dude. As always, like there's no, we're just starting out, but there's no reason for us not to put it out there. Like if you're in movies or in Hollywood, we definitely want to like talk to you, unless you're Harvey Weinstein or
no, I'd talk to him.
Maybe
it'd be a little hard for the editing to make sure that people could hear him through like the cell phone quality, but
through his orange jumpsuit. We would love to talk to you, Tom Wiseau. And for those of you guys watching, just so you know, we both highly recommend watching both of these movies. I'm going to watch The Room.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
And Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think we're just going to plug that every
you should go watch it. You should go buy 7 copies. I have my copy in the other room.
Yeah, if you have not seen it, it's kind of ridiculous at this point. What are you even doing with your life?
Yeah.
But definitely go watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. I enjoyed it, so that's my plug. Recommend it.
I do too.
So there you have it, folks. Whether you're a movie snob like this guy, or you're just kind of a casual moviegoer like me, go watch it. Yeah, man, I don't think I have anything more to say about this. Is there anything else you want to kind of plug in before we sign off?
No.
Okay, there you have it, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, full-time movie fans. If you're here, it's because you love movies just like us. We would love to have more discussions with you. Got some great ideas for later on. Once we kind of get some subscribers and some followers and things like that, we definitely want to get more personal with y'all and hang out with y'all, have some real movie discussions. But for now, don't forget to like the video, subscribe down. Just hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment if you've seen the movie. If you haven't, if you're still hesitant, we would love to talk to you about it, and let us know your thoughts. And go see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, hope your day is everything you dreamed to be and more. And we'll catch you next time. Bye bye.
How do I turn this off?
Hey, full-time movie fans, thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you had a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We want to hang out and discuss the movie with you. So don't forget to do that below. Have a good one. I hope your day is everything you dreamed it'd be and more.